road trip with a toilet seat cover as my steering wheel through the infinitely bland Mojave Desert, it would seem. Oh dear. Ah, well, that's hardly spiffing. Ah, well, at least even out here in the infinite desert of nothingness, we can get good emergency response times. Kind of emphasises how poor they are in this country sometimes. Never mind. Oh, goodness. Work never stops, even when you're dead, does it? So good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to something called After Dreams. Hello. Can I help you with something?
So the therapist suggested recording the things I've wanted to say to you since you left. So, what did it feel like when you died?
That's a very existential question that humanity has been wrestling with for thousands of years. My ankles. Right, so this is apparently a, and I quote, story-rich exploring experience which tackles the age-old question and them surrounding the concept of death. And I don't know if this is going to be a slightly more sober sort of thing than normal, whether it's a more serious take on it, or whether it's more just a sort of philosophical, Gideon, anybody would think I was trying to buy a goat, philosophical approach to these sorts of questions. Goodness, what a weird world. Is this blue light guiding me? I'm going to take that as yes. I can see some things. I don't know what they are. Is it maybe just a signpost and a little fence? Perhaps gateways? Oh, right. Sorry. The way that shadow, I don't know if you can see it right there on that rock in the middle, the way it moves, about Gideon nearly fell off. The way it moves was very arachnid-essence, if that's a word I can use. And I was just wondering whether there was going to be a big monster down here, but I don't think so. I don't think we're here to deal with physical monsters. I think we're more here to wrestle with emotional monsters.
I went out to the pond we'd like to go to today. It just feels so empty without you. Jessica, God, I can't do this.
Well, not congratulations, but appreciations, I suppose, to the voice acting. It's very high quality. I don't know what this massive Sith tower is that's sticking out of the ground. I can only presume that is our destination. So, I'm dead in terms of popularity. No, I'm dead because I got in a car accident and bashed my brain in. What little of it there is to bash. And now I'm passing through some form of purgatory, perhaps? Or going through some sort of experience to help me leave the world behind and move on in the end.
I miss you so much. nothing has been the same since that day. Jessica? Jessica, I need you to come back to me. Why? Why you? Oh, God. Jessica.
Yes. Because a common narration post-death is the spirit of the individual around the folks that knew them in life and observing their attempts to grieve and eventually move on from the tragedy. And I'm wondering if that's what these tapes are. Although they're not physically here with me, I am getting an insight into their psyche.
Dad's been getting worse. He was dropped off by some officers last night. He wasn't driving or anything. They just found him passed out on the bench. Just, whatever you do, Jessica, don't think this is your fault. It isn't. But know that we all miss you. We miss you.
Voice acting really is excellent. There's a lot of real emotion and little touches there. Breathing, the pacing, really make the voice acting very believable and realistic, which in a situation like this, a context like this, is absolutely vital. Now, this looks like the car that hit me.
The driver was, released today. I just thought you'd want to know. Apparently the brake line snapped in his truck and he just lost control. So, Mom's not pressing charges. Just thought that was important for you to know, I guess. And Jessica, I'm so sorry. It should have been me. It should have been me. Jessica, I'm so sorry.
I hate to just repeat myself, but seriously, that voice acting, that is something else. I wouldn't even expect that from something professional, from a proper movie. But they really have gone all out on that. So I think I need to cross this bridge. Yes. If I cross here, then I'll be able to get closer to the base of this tower. I don't know what this big floating rock is. And that's the tricky thing in this sort of game. If it were any other game, I'd just look at it and think it's a massive floating rock. But here I feel like I should be looking for symbolism and meaning in things.
What if you were listening to me? What if everything I said, you were there? I've been thinking about that. I've also thought that you would want me to move on. So, I'm gonna stop now, Jess. But, I do love you. I always will. Remember that.
Whoa. I I had more to do. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. What the hell is going on? I feel like the world is crushing in around me. And, so is that man beginning to move on? Or is he just trying to sort of dwell less on the past? Ah. Oh. I see. We're still here. I didn't notice before, but the skybox is gorgeous. So, that was an interesting experience. I'm not entirely sure what to take away from that. So, perhaps the tower isn't our objective, because it seems like there's really nothing down there. But there's another pathway. Oh no, maybe I'm wrong actually. Because there's this bridge here, which leads all the way down there, which would take me to the base of the tower. The question is how I get to the top of it. Do we have another tape here? Oh, I thought we'd come to the end of the tapes. Unless it's someone else.
I know I said I would stop, but, Lucy dumped me the other day. You're the only one left. Or, I mean, the only one I can talk to. I thought we were so perfect together, but apparently she wants me to stop living in the past. So, yeah.
I'm beginning to realise I may have interpreted what this game was all about slightly incorrectly. When it said an exploration of what happens after we die, I thought it meant to the person that has died, but I believe instead, oh gosh, it may be more an exploration of what happens to a person's loved ones after they die.
I never even wanted to be loved, Jess. Look at me, just a piece of shit. Nobody looks at me anymore, Jess. Nobody pays me any attention. Shit. You think I'm invisible? Invisible. You would know something about that, wouldn't you, Jess? I don't need nobody. I just don't need nobody.
Now that I think about it, an exploration of the living side of after death, to try and put it into some sort of human parlance, actually opens itself up for a lot more interesting narrative than I would have initially thought. Because there's a lot to be said, and witnessing it from the perspective of the deceased rather than just accompanying the grieving individuals, experiencing it from this side, if you like, is very very unique. I can't think of anything else that has done this quite like this before. And now we're going to get in a sailing boat. Okay, I must admit I didn't see that coming. Oh, I can jump. I didn't realize I could do that. Oh. This doesn't bode well.
Oh my god, Jess. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I just saw him. Oh god, Jess. I know you wouldn't want me to. I just got so angry. And Jess, I beat him so hard. He's in the hospital. I'll have to come pay my bill. Shit. I know I'm better than that. I'm sorry. I wanted to get him back. For killing you.
So he found and assaulted the man in the car involved in my death. It's always the sign of a good game when things start off badly and then they progressively get worse in unexpected ways.
He's suing. Mom and I can't take this. We can barely get by as it is. Dad stopped by today. He wanted to apologize, but Mom shut him out. He just stood there in the rain for a while and left. I don't know, Jess.
Okay, it would seem I'm being catapulted once again. Okay, we're going to go on another stroll through the loading screens from Assassin's Creed. Thank you for your participation in our little experiment. Hang on, do you mean me or do you mean the character? Now that you have run our test to completion, you shall be purged from our system. Wait, I'm sensing some confusion in you. Well done. Your powers of deduction could rival Holmes. I'm monstrously confused. You want to know what happens to your brother? My brother? Oh, I thought he was the character's husband. Child, like you, he is nothing but a collection of cleverly programmed bits and bytes, a figment of our imagination, if you will. However, I do find your mental insistence endearing. Very well, I shall grant you this last wish. Oh, he's gone. So, oh goodness, I think we're at the top of the tower. Okay, so now we're pulling a life is just a simulation type thing. We're all just characters in somebody else's mystical dream.
I can't anymore. Jess. God, the world, whatever, it all hates me. I can't come. I can't. coming, Jess. I'm coming for you.
Oh gosh,
Last remains of Pompeii burn to get about.
Well, I apologise for skipping the credits. I am erring on the side of copyright caution with all things, but that was a lot better than I actually expected it to be. Because these more sober games are very hit and miss in terms of whether they work and whether they don't, particularly with me. But that was not at all what I expected it to be, but that was actually very, very interesting and a very different way of approaching that kind of story and telling that kind of story. I think the voice acting is what made it. The voice acting in those little audio tapes was what made all the difference in that, because without that this would have fallen apart very, very quickly. But that was very interesting. That's actually given me more to think about than I predicted. So it's been such a long time since we actually did a sober game. I can't even remember if I do the normal outro or not. So I suppose I'll just have to make stuff up on the fly, as I've been doing for about 18 months. So thank you very much for joining me this evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you found that experience interesting. I hope you found that worthwhile. Yes, thank you very much for joining me. Look after each other, especially after things like this, and good night.